guarding an abandoned police station alone at midnight until everything turned into a living nightmare. The film opens with the arrival of a female police officer named Lauren, who has just arrived at an old police station to begin her very first assignment as a rookie officer. That night, Lauren is required to spend her first shift alone in a building that is scheduled to be permanently shut down in the near future. After taking only a few steps inside the building, Lauren is already confused by the behavior of her superior, Sergeant Cohen, who seems slightly strange from the very beginning of their meeting. After introducing himself, Cohen explains that all emergency 911 calls have been redirected to the new central police station, meaning Lauren should be able to work calmly since she is not expected to receive any calls during her night shift. Cohen then takes Lauren on a brief tour, showing her every room in the old station before firmly warning her never to enter the back area of the building.
My order said to report.
I said turn around! I'm Sergeant Cohen.
Officer Lauren. I guess I don't understand what I'm doing here. I thought the new station was up and running already.
Oh, yes, it is. 911 calls have been rerouted to the new station. Let's hold it. You don't have to go down there.
In the evidence storage room, Cohen further explains that there are still several remaining items that must be guarded until the janitor arrives to collect them around 10 o'clock that night. Before leaving Lauren alone, Cohen also reminds her not to leave the station until her shift has officially ended.
This room contains enough hazardous material, all the bile crap that we collect from perps and crime scenes that are not leave the premises.
Due to the extremely quiet atmosphere, Lauren begins to feel bored and eventually falls asleep in the operator room. However, her sleep is abruptly interrupted when the lights suddenly emit a short-circuiting sound. As she is about to check the source of the problem, the phone in the operator room suddenly rings. Lauren quickly answers it, only to hear the terrified voice of a woman on the other end before the call is abruptly disconnected.
Sanford Police Department.
I think they might all be dead.
I'm sorry, are you injured?
Help me.
Give me your address and I'll dispatch a unit to your location. Oh shit.
Sensing that something is wrong, Lauren immediately contacts the central office and complains that the old station is still receiving emergency calls, even though all lines were supposed to have been transferred to the new building. From that moment on, a series of strange events begins to unfold. While eating dinner, Lauren discovers a long strand of hair in her food. Not long after that, she hears a knock at the door, but when she checks, there is no one outside. Just as she is about to return inside, Lauren is startled once again by the sudden appearance of a homeless man who is already inside the building. She tries to drive him out, but the man completely ignores her warnings and even behaves indecently by relieving himself right in front of her. Forced to act, Lauren forces him out of the station.
Sir, if you don't leave the station now, I'm going to be forced to tase. Sir. Move. Move! Get out!
After cleaning the filthy floor left behind by the incident, Lauren hears another strange sound coming from the pipes. Driven by curiosity, she heads toward the back area of the building, even though Cohen had explicitly forbidden her from going there. Inside one of the toilets, Lauren is shocked by how filthy and neglected the room is. She continues exploring the back rooms of the station until she reaches the officer's locker room. When she opens one of the lockers, Lauren finds a photograph of herself with her father from when she was a child. It is revealed that Lauren's father was also a police officer who died while on duty at that very station. Not long after, the office phone rings again, and this time the call comes from the same woman who contacted Lauren earlier. She introduces herself as Monica. Acting quickly, Lauren asks for any information that could help the police track her location. Monica says she is at a farm, but when Lauren tries to get more specific details, the line suddenly disconnects.
Sanford Police Department, tell me quickly, is there anything around you that you can help me locate? What's your name?
Monica.
Monica. Good, where are you?
I don't know. I was brought to a ranch.
A moment later, the phone rings again, but this time it is Joe, the male janitor, previously mentioned by Sergeant Cohen. Joe explains that he will arrive late because he is finishing another job and estimates that he will not reach the station until just before 4 in the morning. Although Lauren sounds slightly annoyed, she accepts his explanation. She then contacts the central office again to report Monica's call, but the operator doubts her story, explaining that according to the system, all emergency calls should have already been fully redirected to the new building. Trying to calm herself, Lauren starts reading a book, but she is suddenly startled when the cabinet directly behind her moves on its own. As she stands up to check it, a suspicious noise comes from the back area of the station. Lauren follows the sound and is shocked to find that the homeless man she had previously kicked out has returned and is now rummaging through files in the evidence room. To prevent further trouble, Lauren is forced to handcuff the man and lock him inside a room. However, the strange events do not stop there. As Lauren is about to leave the room where the man is detained, the door suddenly shuts by itself and all the lights in the area go out. Using her flashlight, Lauren tries to get out only to realize that the door is locked from the outside. In her panic, a terrifying figure suddenly peers in through the doorway, causing Lauren to accidentally drop her flashlight. In the darkness, Loren briefly assumes that the homeless man took it, but she soon realizes she is wrong because there is another presence inside the room with them. Fear overwhelms her until the situation mysteriously returns to normal, the lights turn back on, and the door opens by itself, as if nothing ever happened.
Get in. Hello? Who's in here?
Loren briefly considers calling Sergeant Cohen to resign, but she changes her mind, remembering that becoming a police officer has been her dream since childhood, and she refuses to give up so easily. When Loren looks up at the ceiling, she notices strange writing that reads SOW. Convinced that someone has broken into the station, Loren immediately locks all the doors to protect herself. However, as she is about to lock the back door, she sees a blonde woman named Marigold casually smoking nearby. Loren tells her to leave, but Marigold calmly says she will go after she finishes her cigarette. Unexpectedly, Marigold begins telling Loren that she had once been held at this police station after being arrested in the past. She then talks about the holding cells in the back of the building, which once contained 3 members of the Paimon family for suspected involvement in occult, kidnappings, and the massacre of several girls. Loren responds by saying that her father, who was also a police officer, had killed the Paimon family at the crime scene. Marigold denies this and explains that the Paimons were not killed at the scene but were captured alive and brought to the same station where Loren is now working. Marigold continues by saying that while the Paimon family was being held, she once heard horrifying singing coming from their cell, as if they were performing some kind of worship ritual. After the singing stopped, Marigold, driven by curiosity, looked inside the cell and discovered that all 3 family members had died together. Even stranger, the next day, the police were shocked to find the cell completely empty with no bodies inside. After finishing her story, Marigold leaves Loren behind.
Ma'am, can I help you with something?
No, I'm all right. Do you mind if I finish my cigarette?
All right, just...
You're new, right? I was here, you know. Well, they brought them in that night. 3 of them. I think they were called the Pain. Kidnapped and slaughtered those poor girls. They kept me up all night. Eerie song. The bastards hung themselves with their own bedsheet, and the bodies were gone.
As Loren heads back toward the operator room, she freezes when she notices a room where the television suddenly turns on by itself. On the screen, Loren sees old footage showing the 3 Paimon family members being interrogated. From the interrogation footage displayed on the television screen, Loren concludes that the 3 members of the Paimon family were indeed followers of a cult.
I'm not ashamed of what I do.
The devil's just another bitch of the Lord.
That's been around long before that clip-wing cocksucker got down there.
I once stabbed a girl who sounded like a pig.
Before she can fully process what she has just seen, the atmosphere in the room suddenly shifts when a chair moves on its own and slides toward her, as if an invisible force is attacking. Panicking, Loren backs away, and immediately afterward the phone rings again. Just like before, the call is from Monica. Her voice sounds increasingly unstable as she says that the girls have been killed and that she can still hear people singing. When Loren asks whether she heard the name John Michael Paimon, Monica confirms it without hesitation. However, before Loren can press further, the call abruptly disconnects once again. Sensing that the situation is escalating, Loren contacts the central office to report the call. This time, the operator provides her with a case code and instructs her to look up information related to Monica through the police database. While attempting to calm herself and checking another room, Loren notices something unsettling. A row of chairs, neatly stacked in an unnaturally perfect arrangement, as if someone deliberately organized them. Assuming that a colleague might be playing a prank to test her as a rookie officer, Loren angrily knocks the chairs over. Soon after, there is another knock at the door. This time, a police officer named Price arrives. At first, Loren assumes that Price is part of the same attempt to frighten her, but he denies it and explains that he simply stopped by to check on her.
All right, enough. You guys, you got me, all right? You guys are a bunch of fucking cowards.
I don't think that we're on the same page. I came over here to check on you.
After she lets him in, Price reveals that he used to be her late father's partner. He recounts the night they handled the Paimon family case when he and Loren's father arrived first at the scene to rescue the kidnapped girls. According to Price, they were close to saving the victims, but the situation spiraled out of control and Loren's father was killed at the scene along with several other officers. After finishing his story, Price says goodbye and leaves the station. However, only moments later, Loren is horrified to realize that Price's head appears to have a hole in it, revealing the terrifying truth that he is no longer alive. Shortly afterward, Loren hears faint singing echoing throughout the building. As she searches for the source of the sound, she does not notice a mysterious woman is silently following her from behind. When Loren finally reaches the room where the sound originates, she is stunned to see several girls sitting together and singing. After that disturbing sight, Loren rushes back to the evidence room only to find it in complete disarray once again. Feeling that everything is spiraling out of control, she calls Sergeant Cohen to report what she has experienced. But instead of reassuring her, Cohen tells her that if she cannot handle the job, she should be prepared to face termination.
Follow my soul. I am safe in your little brain. On the
this is Officer Lauren.
Then why the fuck are you calling me?
I just don't know if I can finish the end of the shift, sir.
Of your resignation?
Not long after that conversation, Lauren contacts Joe and asks him to come to the station as soon as possible to collect the remaining evidence items. Although she thanks Joe, Lauren decides to ignore Cohen's warning and prepares to leave the old station. Before she can get far, the phone rings yet again, and Monica calls once more. This time, Monica claims that she has managed to escape from the people who captured her and provides her location. Upon hearing this, Loren immediately contacts the police department and gives them Monica's case code so that assistance can be dispatched. To her shock, the operator informs her that Monica actually died a year ago. Loren refuses to believe it, as she has just spoken to Monica on the phone. The operator then adds that Monica was the final victim in the series of murders committed by the Paimon family. He also explains that all the strange incidents Loren has experienced, from flickering lights to missing evidence, are the main reasons why the old police station was ultimately scheduled for closure.
Hello. You escaped? Okay, just hang tight, okay? This is good. This is good. What's around you?
Cumberland Road. 6 minutes. I know it.
Yeah, this is Officer Lauren. Please reference John Victor Ida 1. I was just speaking to her.
We spoke earlier regarding Monica Young. No, she's been dead for a year.
Just as the operator is about to continue, Loren sees a photograph floating in front of the doorway. When she looks closely, she realizes the image shows her father's lifeless body. It does not stop there, as she also sees a photograph of Price's body, along with images of the murdered girls and various pieces of evidence connected to the Paimon family, now displayed all along the corridor of the station. Seeing the horrifying photos lining the corridor, Lauren desperately tries to calm herself, but her effort fails when her ears suddenly ring loudly and her head feels heavy. In the middle of that state, a call from her mother briefly pulls her out of panic. But before she can fully recover, Lauren notices a mysterious woman standing at the far end of the hallway. Without thinking twice, Lauren chases after her, only to be ambushed and lose consciousness. Lauren later wakes up inside an interrogation room, face to face with the mysterious woman, who begins talking about John Michael Paimon and reveals that she is a follower of the cult created by the Paimon family. Not long after making that confession, the woman ends her own life right in front of Lauren, leaving her deeply traumatized and mentally shaken. Before Lauren can even process what just happened, the phone rings again, and this time, Monica calls once more. When Lauren tells Monica that she has officially been declared dead, Monica simply laughs, seemingly satisfied that she has succeeded in terrifying Lauren. Shortly after that, the operator desk begins shaking violently, and Lauren realizes there is a horrifying presence hiding beneath it. Panicking, Lauren rushes to hide between the filing cabinets, holding her breath as the creature approaches until the figure suddenly vanishes without a trace. Unable to endure any more of the strange events, Lauren attempts to escape the old police station, but her effort is futile, as every door is tightly locked, and even the windows cannot be broken by her gunfire. In utter desperation, Lauren receives another call, and this time it is the voice of her deceased father. As if aware of the tragic fate awaiting her, her father tells Lauren to remain on duty at the station and even orders her to kill the homeless man she had previously locked up. Not long after the call ends, the homeless man suddenly appears walking behind Lauren. Confused about how he managed to escape the locked room, Lauren instinctively follows him and orders him to kneel. But just as Lauren is about to handcuff him, the man's face turns grotesque before he vanishes into thin air. When Lauren returns to the room where she had detained him, she is horrified to discover that the man has taken his own life there. The terror escalates even further as Lauren begins seeing visions of cult rituals performed by the Paimon family, everything feeling disturbingly real, as if she is truly trapped inside their spiritual game. Soon after, her late father calls again and instructs Lauren to stop anyone who comes to the station. Moments later, Lauren hears noises at the entrance and sees 3 masked men breaking into the building. Believing they are followers of the Paimon cult, Lauren acts without hesitation and shoots them one by one.
Daddy?
You have to stop them.
The bitter truth is revealed when Sergeant Cohen suddenly appears and shoots Lauren, and in that moment she realizes that the 3 people she just killed were actually janitors who had come to do their job. With her mind completely shattered, Lauren slowly loses control of herself. The voices that have been haunting her grow clearer, and without realizing it, her lips begin chanting the worship song she had only heard in recordings before. In front of her, the 3 Paimon family members appear, not as humans, but as spirits that never truly left the police station, as if cursing the place itself. At that moment, Lauren finally understands that every terrifying event of the night was merely part of their game. The spirits of the Paimon family have successfully invaded her mind, twisting reality, manipulating her fear, and slowly drawing her into the cult they left behind. Tragically, the night that was supposed to mark the beginning of Lauren's career as a police officer instead becomes the end of everything. Her first shift also becomes her last. The dream she had held onto since childhood to serve as a police officer lasts only a few short hours before finally disappearing as her sanity is gradually stripped away by the Paimon spirits who toyed with her mind, and the story comes to an end.